All right.
I couldn't hear. Oh, I can hear myself now.
Welcome. You couldn't hear yourself?
No, the music was too strong.
Really?
But that's okay.
Oh, I did have it loud.
That's all right.
All right. So welcome to Green Light and Banter.
Hello.
Today is May the 30th, 2024.
The year of our Lord.
Yep. And today is episode 28.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So in our ever-expanding pursuit of perfection.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So once we figure out how to do one thing, we like to try to figure out or not figure out how to do something else.
You introduce a whole new curveball into it. And
yeah. So we're trying to do video along with this. And so we will have a YouTube channel. We do have a YouTube channel. And so we'll be doing the podcast on YouTube.
To my chagrin.
However, YouTube has required me to verify my identity.
It's a shame we don't work blue, because how quickly do you think I could get us banned from YouTube?
Well, I mean, we could have a blue channel.
Not on YouTube.
I don't think you can get banned from YouTube.
Oh, shoot. They've banned more people than they have subscribers.
Well, we'll just go to Rumble or whatever it is.
That's right.
What is it? Truth Social?
Although that may be subsidized now.
DJT?
Yes.
Subsidized?
Well,
By who?
To pay for his court costs, who
Oh,
knows?
my gosh. I don't want to talk about it. So we are recording this. We're recording the soundtrack and the video separately. So someone has assured us that there's a way to match those up.
We're putting a lot of faith in them.
As a person born in the 1960s, I have not a clue.
And as a fellow born in the 70s, I have even less of a clue.
The way we would sync up tracks in the 80s with our ghetto blasters was we would try to time
the DJ.
We would try to time the perfectly when we started the cassette tapes.
Absolutely.
So we had the same song playing on two different systems.
When you recorded off the radio, how long were you waiting to?
Oh, it was forever.
Gosh, it was so great.
Because you had to wait for the song, first of all.
So much better than what we have today, I think.
I mean, think about the anticipation and the excitement of when you...
Oh, it's amazing.
When your song came on and you were able to record it.
The best thing is I take my sister's tapes and I would record me singing over their songs, and so it would be just a 5-second blurb. They'd get so mad.
That's why they hate you.
They love me.
I mean, love you. I meant to say love.
They better love me.
Yeah, my friend Rob and I had the biggest boom boxes in 8th grade, and we would try to sync up our Herbie Hancock tapes.
Oh, yes.
And so they were never exactly the same, so it sounded like a little bit of an echo. And we would put them on opposite sides of the playground or the basketball court. Awesome.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
And they were huge.
Well, yes. You got to let
Huge.
the entire neighborhood hear it.
Oh, my gosh.
That's why it's called a ghetto blaster.
Or a boom box. I don't know what we actually called it.
We called it a ghetto blaster.
Yeah, there were so many ghettos in White Pine.
Well, and then, we had the basic one that was silver and it was all one piece, but then they came out ones where you can get the speakers to disconnect and you can move them out further.
Oh, that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah, I think it was the beginning of the end.
It was.
I know it was. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't know. That was not planned at all. But
well, I don't know what the topic is because you've refused.
You don't. You're right.
You've refused to tell me.
This is the roots of our.
Yeah, but occasionally you've told me like a minute or two before we started.
I know, because I was nervous about it.
You're not nervous today?
No.
Oh, well, that makes up for my end because of this whole thing.
Yeah, I can't even see myself because the camera stand and the computer stands.
I'm very envious of you.
It's all good.
Topic du jour?
Yeah, I was going to say something. So, congratulations to the Vols.
Go get him, Tony.
Yep. So, Tennessee baseball conference champions, regular season, and conference tournament champions.
Yes, and they start the regionals tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Do we
7
know the time?
p.m.
7 p.m.
And I got to fish on Saturday, so they got to get it over with early.
It may be like the Lady Vols in their lost the longest softball game on history in the
That was insufferable.
14 innings. No score since the fourth, so 10 scoreless innings.
It about outlasted the baseball game that started like towards the end of it.
Yeah, because that game started like at 1.
Yeah.
And then the baseball game was delayed.
Yes.
It was supposed to start at 4:30. It was delayed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know when they started it.
6:30, I think.
And the softball game almost outlasted the baseball game that started 6 hours later.
Yippers.
Wow.
Indeed.
That's amazing.
I think so, too.
Yeah. All right. So just trying to think of a topic. You know, we've got some other things coming up.
Oh, yes.
This is episode 28, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned that.
Maybe. It may be 28. I don't know.
It's definitely not 27 because that was the last episode.
So what are we discussing today?
Well, I mean, there's been some things happen recently. There's been lots of things happen. So some traumatic events have occurred. It's been in the news lately. There's actually been a lot of talk about it. Newspaper, radio. I don't know if it's been on TV because I don't typically catch all the TV stuff. Because I don't turn the TV on until about 10 p.m. in the evenings. So,
do you read the newspaper?
No.
Okay.
I mean, how can you?
Well, you said newspaper, so I didn't know if you were unfolding
Well, no, I didn't read it. I mean, I've heard other people talk about it.
Okay.
But I haven't heard anybody say anything about it on the about it being on TV.
Okay.
Do you have any clue?
I haven't the foggiest. It's traumatic and it's happened recently.
Yeah, it's been all the. I mean, it's been the point of discussion nearly everywhere.
Give it to me.
You have no idea?
Well, I don't. Obviously, I don't. Elsewise, I would have guessed by now.
Well, I don't know. You may have heard that you had a foot injury.
Oh man, let me tell you something. It was very traumatic.
It's been everywhere.
You're right. It has been everywhere. I don't like to brag about. I try to downplay it, but you know, I persevere. I move forward.
I mean, I quite honestly couldn't understand how you managed your life until I actually met with some clients who are paralyzed and have, congenital birth defects and things. And
they finally see what it's like to be me.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was, of all things, it was a fishing injury too. So I got that going for me.
Well, I mean, I think most listeners would probably think about a fishing injury would be like, like Jeff Carr had the hook in his jaw.
Yeah. That's a legitimate injury, but
I feel like I had a hook in my head one time. My brother backcasted and caught the hook in my head. Mm-hmm. So Dad had to cut the hook and then pull it out the opposite way.
Yep.
Our little dog, when we were kids, got a hook in her mouth because we had our fishing gear on the back, and obviously it smelled like fish.
Yes.
And so she got the hook in her mouth.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And so, how do you explain to a 10-pound dog to be still, stop moving?
Because they're not smart enough to learn English yet.
Well, she was French Asian, or Asian French.
Yes. So you didn't speak the language.
I spoke neither at the time. But so I think most people think about fishing injuries. That's kind of what they envision.
Well, but ironically, mine was suffered doing something that I've warned all the elderly people in our club against being careful getting off the boat when it's on the trailer, because there's no good place to land. You're landing on concrete. Well,
Yeah, because the trailer is completely under the boat.
Yeah.
Except for the wheel
yeah.
skirts.
So I was getting off the boat. It was raining hard, and my foot slipped, and so I fell down on the ground and landed weirdly on my foot. And so, yes, I've been battling through.
Yeah, so it's been nearly 2 weeks.
Man, it hurt. And now am I a hero to battle through it and to come into work? I don't know. I'll let historians tell that story.
Yeah, the old adage that I don't know if it's an adage, but typically people don't listen to medical advice. Jamie is a perfect example of that.
That's a complete false statement. I listened to you.
Yeah, you listened, but you didn't do anything.
Do you not remember me taking the ibuprofen?
Yeah, 3 days later.
Well, I don't know if you know anything about ailments like this, but you got to let it set in, get established.
Oh, yeah, because until it sets in, you don't really know if you're injured.
The ibuprofen doesn't know what to attack. It could say, hey, does he have a headache? Is his elbow hurting?
I think it just attacks inflammation. So if you have inflammation anywhere, it's going to resolve it.
That's AI you're talking about. They haven't put that in ibuprofen yet.
They haven't?
No. I'm sure it's on its way. But long story short, I'm getting better. I've been convalescing. I put my faith in a higher power, quite frankly. And I think I've come along. I think I've made a remarkable recovery, quite honestly. I think they may...
Wait, are you recovered?
Well, for the average person, yes, I'm recovered. For me...
So I guess the good news is you've recovered enough to go fishing again Saturday.
Yes, I've decided to face the demon again.
You're not on Douglas or Cherokee this
Watts Bar.
Watts Bar.
Yeah. So
I hear it's like your favorite lake.
It is my favorite lake.
Although it's not the most beautiful.
No, I feel like you're mocking me right now is what's going on. I feel like you just said...
No, I'm just taking information from conversations I've heard.
Yes, well, and that we do have land in Boaz.
Oh, I wasn't even going to bring that
really?
up.
Really? You always bring it up.
So that whole bit there was basically an interlude. Interlude? That would be between. A prelude.
Yes.
Prelude to the topic.
That wasn't the topic?
Well, it's the prelude to the topic, which the topic is injuries.
Oh, gosh.
So what I wanted to talk about, because I knew you would want to talk about your fishing injury.
I didn't want to talk about it.
I wanted to like just have some back and forth about injuries that have occurred between ourselves, or injuries we've sustained throughout our lives, and I think at different points in your life, an injury is different.
Yeah.
So I think like your injury that you had fishing, that's probably an injury I would have had when I was like 3. So it was catastrophic for me at the time, but something like that now would be like, oh, I stubbed my toe.
I feel like you just downgraded the traumatic experience.
I wanted to know, I don't feel like you've had enough injuries.
I've had plenty of injuries, thank you.
Well, I feel like that injury must be significant then.
It hurt very badly, if you must know.
So you did baseball and stuff as a kid. So thinking back when you were, let's say, elementary age, pre-middle school, is there a story, an injury that occurred? Because I have one.
Well, I mean, there's been several, but nothing like serious. I've broken bones in my fingers. That wasn't so bad. I've been hit by a line drive where you're protected by a
piece of plastic.
Piece of plastic, yes, and that hurt tremendously bad.
Enough.
Even with the plastic covering, yes.
So I had two injuries that I can recall from like my little league baseball days and the playground. So going back to my childhood, the playground, and there's videos on social media about the playground from the 70s and the 80s.
Oh, yeah, deadly.
Everything is made of metal.
Oh, yeah. Jagged
gravel everywhere.
Yeah.
One of the most deadly things on the playground was the merry-go-round.
Incredibly
because
deadly.
it was fantastic. We could get that thing going so fast, and kids were throwing up. They were flying off of it.
I think I heard the sound barrier break a couple times.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, those memories are so vivid. I mean, people were bleeding, and we're just laughing.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
And you're the kid bleeding, but you're laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Kids lost teeth.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But that's not even the worst. The monkey bars, which was a 40-foot tall metal pipe structure. If you fell, your body is bouncing off every pipe.
It's a 40% chance you were dead.
So it's like cubes of metal pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
fantastic.
they would line it with like pieces of railroad ties. Like, I guess to make a walkway or something. Because I've hit the railroad tie, especially coming off swing sets.
Well, I think they did that to prevent erosion. So the thing wouldn't topple over, because you have all these kids scrambling over the dirt. The grass goes away quick. So unless you contain it with the railroad ties, then the stuff just falls away. The concrete falls away. The thing falls over.
Yeah.
So I understand the science, but nobody's thinking about the injuries that occur.
No.
We had a progression at the White Pine Elementary. So they decided to build a log cabin structure that we could play in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we took full advantage of the pre-completion of the cabin. So it was just a log cabin. There was no door, had no top. So it was like a pit.
Mm-hmm.
It became our fight pit. So the kids that were fighting would be down in it, and all the kids would be around the top, the main kids. The other kids had to look through. So that was the battle pit.
Did you grow up at Lord of the Flies?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
We became very good kids because we took it all out, right? But my injury on the playground was from something that involved no playground equipment. We played a game that was called Smear.
Yes. It was a little more of a crass title.
Yeah, but Smear's enough to know.
Yeah.
So if you had the ball, everybody's job was to basically kill you.
Yes.
So I remember we were playing, and you had to be pretty tough to play, first of all. They wouldn't let you play if they thought
if you're frail.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you weren't coming out there.
So we were playing, and Mike Ford was one of the kids there. He went on to be NASCAR pit manager. So he was the pit guy for Bill Elliott for years.
Oh, wow.
Seen him on ESPN doing interviews. Amazing. Somebody told me about it. I was like, there's no way. Then I saw it. Anyway, Mike Ford was he was a fantastic athlete. And so I had the ball, or he had the ball. Anyway, he hit me in the back of the head, like, the occiput right above your spine. Knocked me out cold. Lost my vision. So in today's standards, that would be called a concussion.
A pretty severe one at that.
Severe concussion. So I had to ride the bus to Mama's because Mom and Dad were working. So my cousin put me on the bus. I couldn't see. Had no vision. So they were like helping me onto the bus. And so I went to Mama's. So a couple hours later, Mom comes to pick me up. And I'm like, hey, Mom, I can't see. She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I cannot see. I got hit in the head. Oh, okay. And I was like, I feel sick. And so they took me to the clinic, and I was so nauseated. I lost all sensation in my arms.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a bad concussion.
So that was my injury. So how does that compare to your foot thing?
It's a close second. It's not quite there. I didn't lose vision, but I thought I'd probably been better off if I had, so I didn't have to see the pain I was in. So yeah, no, I mean, close second. Close second.
Okay.
Not quite where I got to.
All right, you got anything else from childhood like that?
Well, I mean, the playground injuries for me were when you would try to test the limits of gravity on the swing set, where you'd let go at its highest point.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you'd land, your knees would almost literally go into your spine.
Yeah, either into your chin,
Yeah.
up around your ears.
Yeah, those were terrible. I mean, my ankles and knees were.
That may be why you have difficulties today.
Difficulties is a relative
You know,
term.
that was the thing. Zach and I were talking about today, climbing trees. Mm-hmm. We used to drop out of trees like 10, 12 feet.
Oh, yeah.
And your body would just collapse. Like you would land on your legs, and then your pelvis would just completely drop to the ground.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you hadn't...
You'd be like crumpled down.
If you haven't experienced losing your breath, falling out of a tree...
Oh, yeah.
The sheer panic in trying to get that breath back, you hadn't lived.
That's when like you'd be playing with your cousins, and they'd be like, "What's wrong with you?" And you'd be like,
Yeah.
gasping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a terrible sensation losing your breath.
We used to get that all the time in football.
Yeah.
So you get the breath knocked out of you. The coach would come over. You'd be laying on the ground, and
Grab
they
your
lift you up
britches.
by the pants.
Yeah, by
and
the
pull you up.
waistband.
I was always like, "What's that gonna do?"
It did something because I'd get my
did
breath
it relax your diaphragm?
back. I think so, because they'd always pull you up by the waistband to where I guess your pelvic area would.
Yeah, who taught them that?
I don't know.
Was that in like coaching class?
I think the same people that told them a salt tablet could cure all ails.
You'd take some salt tablets. Well, I mean, it worked.
Salt tablets? No.
They didn't.
It dehydrated you worse. Thankfully, salt tablets were a thing of the past by the time I got.
Well, I mean, we were doing salt tablets on our ultra marathons. Of course, you're also consuming lots of fluid
Yeah, no. I mean,
to get your electrolytes up.
when I'd hear my dad talk about the salt tablet days, it was
That was before Gatorade.
yeah, it was when Gatorade was basically liquid salt tablet.
Yeah, we used to get Gatorade from Stokely's up
Yeah.
in Newport, and it came in the little glass bottles.
There's only one other form that Gatorade was better as. I don't know if you've ever had Gatorade in a can. Mm-hmm. It's ambrosia. I don't know, and then I miss the old Gatorade chewing gum.
Oh, yeah.
Golly, that was good. That would
It'll make your jaw pucker
yeah.
up, like right here.
you'd get lockjaw
At your ear?
Yeah, you better believe it.
I can feel it right now.
Oh yeah, me too. Good stuff. Come back out with it, Gatorade.
I wonder why they quit making it.
Probably there's a high mortality rate.
Same reason they quit making lead paint.
Right.
Well, it seems like the brains of the children who chew on the windowsills with lead paint are much smaller than the children who don't.
Oh, lead paint and asbestos. That was the combination.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a asbestos lawsuit I could file. All the pipes in White Pine School were covered with, I thought it was like plaster,
Yeah.
like a cast, but it was asbestos insulation.
I remember.
We used to sit and pick at it with our pencils.
Well, I remember Gresham. They had to clear out the asbestos. You would think they would just say, "Hey, we're shutting down." No, they just moved you to a different area of the school, and we're clearing out asbestos. It's no telling what we were exposed
It's
to.
called remediation,
Yes, it is called remediation. But
although they may have not done it properly.
yeah, but no, injury wise, I've suffered a lot of cuts from things like stupidity on my part. I don't know if that counts as injuries.
Cuts.
Like
Yeah.
the worst and the most stupid, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is in high school. My parents were out of town on their anniversary,
Oh.
And it was just me.
Did they leave the keys to the brand new Porsche?
Would they mind? Well, of course not. No, I was changing golf grips. And
razor blade involved?
well, it was the hooked blade. And this is the most stupid thing. And I deserved everything I got. My sister was at University of Tennessee. Well, she had dropped by to use my parents' computer for a project. And this is before everybody had a computer. But for some reason, I didn't want to go out to the garage because normally I'd put the golf club in a vise.
Yeah.
Cut it off like that.
Pull it
like that. Yep. Well, I wanted to watch TV because my parents weren't home. So I figured, I'll get away with it. And I'm talking to my sister. And for some reason, I propped the golf club right there on my inner leg. And I'm cutting like that. And yeah. It
right
slips
into
off,
your leg.
and it just bams against my leg. And I'm looking down at it, and I'm like, hey, I think I got away with it. Nothing happened. All of a sudden,
then,
brrr, and I'm hobbling over to my sister, and I'm unbuckling my breeches, and I'm pulling them down. I'm saying,
she's like,
what
are
do
you
think
doing?
I need to go to the hospital for this? And she looks over like, what the heck are you doing? And I didn't because I had ACTs the next day, so I just ace bandaged it. But to this day, about once or twice a year, that scar will raise up and itch like a son of a gun. It's insane.
Nerve.
Oh yeah,
The nerve.
it's a huge scar. Yeah, and then of course the time in shop class when I was cutting up with the Iezzi twins led me to all kinds of
Yeah, I've heard.
trouble back in the day. But I was cutting up with them while I was sawing on the bandsaw and left my thumb in the way and got a pretty good gash there. But
Well, I can. So your cut doing the golf clubs reminds me of the old, your parents say don't run with scissors.
yeah,
Okay. Well, you shouldn't run with a paring knife either.
no,
So-
I think pretty much anything scissor paring knife related.
Yeah, I was doing something in the living room. So mom was in there and I had a pencil and I was like, Mom, my pencil needs to be sharpened. Of course, we didn't have a pencil sharpener. So she said, we'll go to the kitchen and get a knife and bring it to me and I'll sharpen it. And so I guess I was super excited to get my pencil sharpened. Mm-hmm. So I take off and run to the kitchen and I get a little paring knife. And the paring knife is like a serrated blade on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
It's about 4 inches long.
Oh, yeah.
3 or 4 inches. So I grab the knife and I come running back. Well, I'm cutting through the hallway to make the turn into the living room. And I guess there was a rug or something. So I slip and fall and I stab that knife into my leg.
Yep.
Like right into my leg, left leg, just above my knee, right between my hamstring tendon. So it goes all the way in.
That's painful to even hear.
And so it didn't really hurt because I knew what was going to happen. Because how many times did I tell you not to run? And so I just pulled it out and then went on into the living room.
Dripping blood?
It didn't really bleed that much, but I just played it off like nothing happened.
What do you mean it didn't really bleed that much?
I mean, not
you
like
stabbed yourself.
I know, it's crazy, but I still have the scar. I mean, I can show you right now.
I don't need to see it right
Okay.
now. Yeah, no,
But I was like, oh my gosh, I've stabbed myself in the leg.
but you got away with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's atrocious. That's atrocious.
So you shouldn't run with scissors or paring knives. Probably shouldn't run with swords, ice picks,
Flathead screwdrivers.
flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver.
Phillips, anything pointy. But no, yeah, there's been all kinds of little injuries. I've lucked out and not gotten any major broken bones in my life. Like I say, I've broken fingers playing sports.
Well, I've only broken one bone.
Which was?
This is my 4th metatarsal on my left foot.
Yeah, I've broken bones. I know I broke my big toe not long ago when we were at the old company, the Evil Empire, and I I didn't tell anybody because I wasn't wearing steel-toed shoes.
What?
And there's a fellow we used to work with that helped me load stuff into the vehicle and opened the side door, and he pushed a sleep safe bed on there, and it pushed a battery off the van. I mean, it landed on my big toe. And then recently when I dropped...
When you say battery, you're talking like a group...
24.
So
yeah,
35-pound battery?
Yeah. And on that same toe is when I dropped that jack recently. And as we were working, I was like, yep, my sock is soaked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'd look down at my shoe, and you just see a circle about that big coming through the... And when I took it off later, look at it, yeah, it was pretty gross. But what can you do about a broken toe? You just got to...
Yeah, there's not much you can do.
You just got to move on, man. You got to
just
persevere.
like if you break your fourth metatarsal skydiving.
Just like if you heroically...
I would tell people, I was like, well, I broke my foot. And they're like, you came out pretty well.
Did you break it skydiving?
Yeah.
Well...
But I only fell 5,000 feet.
That's almost as dangerous as falling out of a fishing boat in the parking lot. Almost. Not quite.
Actually, it's probably safer because I actually had a parachute.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't.
All I had was...
I'm guessing you didn't have a parachute.
All I had was the big blue ball we live on right now that I landed on. That's all I had to stop me.
Third rock from the sun?
Third rock from the sun, baby. But as far as injuries go, yeah, I've been extremely lucky.
Yeah, there's plenty I could talk about.
I've landed hard. I mean, I've ate dirt, wrecking dirt bikes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about one of the BMX families. Oh, gosh. I can't remember which one. But anyway, they're all do the motorcycle tricks and everything. And I was like, well, I did a 360 on a dirt bike. They were like, what? And I was like, well, the bike did a 360. I came off of it. I was smart enough to let go. But
well, three-wheelers were very
oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I've had well, luckily they were just little, the small three-wheelers where you roll them back and they land on you.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
If it'd been a big one, like the big Hondas.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah. I've had a golf cart land on me. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, see, I just don't think many kids experience these things. What they experience are things now. It's like if they have an accident, like something like that, it's really bad.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of little things because
no lessons to be learned.
Like we've kept them from the things that we experienced, like the playground stuff.
Yeah.
We took all that out.
Yeah.
You know, you got rubber mulch, so you bounce.
Yeah.
There's no metal. There's no merry-go-rounds. There's no seesaws.
Yeah. No, but we would almost seek out those injuries because I remember we would go visit my grandparents in Tullahoma, and the neighbors would let us come over to their house because they had a big swing on a tree. And we would have that thing soaring. We'd let go at the top. Well, we were aimed because over to the right there was a stone-surrounded fish pond, and for some reason we were trying to aim for the fish pond.
You never could get there.
Yeah, but what were we expecting to happen if we connected?
Yeah, it's so deep.
Best case scenario, we land in a 1 foot deep fish pond in the water.
Yeah, you clear the stones.
Worst case scenarios, we're dead.
Well, what about we used to go nuts on grapevine swings.
Oh yeah.
And you never knew when the vine was going to give way. And typically you were swinging that was on a slope, a severe slope over a ravine or a holler.
Yeah.
And so if the grapevine let go, you were not only swinging out, but you at the apex of your swing, you're probably 50 feet above whatever's below you.
For God's sake, man, did you ever leap and go up to the Y in the river?
Yeah.
And bomb tubers?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a combination of things that could have gone horribly wrong.
There's a lot of that area that's cut off now, right?
I hope.
Because you used to go up to the Y and you had where the water went down and it like tunneled and rolled, but you could climb up to that
Very
ledge.
top. Yeah, and I did. And I landed on a couple tubers before.
I saw several people go up there and they were attempting to jump, but they slipped
Yeah.
before they jumped and they come sliding down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first thing that could go wrong. And then the second thing is you land on a tuber and kill them.
Well, and I saw many people go off on the tube over the rapid there and they go under.
Yeah. What were we thinking?
And then it's like,
But it was great fun. I look back on it
minutes later.
fondly. But I also look back on it going, well, that could have been my ticket punched.
well, we did have, I shouldn't even bring it up.
What?
I'm not going to bring it up. So one of the biggest crises averted in my childhood was a story that we all know about my brother when we were jumping fire on the bicycles.
Yeah.
And he jumped the fire, but didn't clear the fire. The fiery rags or whatever towels we were burning caught on the back wheel of his bike and flipped up onto his back.
Oh, my gosh.
And so he's riding his bike on fire. I chase him down, knock him off, roll him, put him out. And he gets up and says, "You saved my life." Which I probably did.
The worst injury I think I've seen, well, other than like sports injuries when I've seen legs snapped and all that, but my sister, there was a hill that split the property between my neighbors and my parents. It was gravel, but there was huge rock drop-offs. So we'd come down our road, which is a big hill, and we'd take the sharp turn to go down that thing, and my sister, her collarbone. Oh my gosh. It was so bad. I ran into the house and
Was it a compound fracture?
you could see it trying to.
Didn't come through the skin.
No, but you could see, and I walked in the house and I was pretty young and went to the fridge to fix myself get myself a Capri Sun. And
Wait, right after this happened?
I was going in to tell my parents, and
You're like, oh.
I said, Mary Jones cut to pieces outside. And they went out there and her collarbone.
You had to have a drink?
Yeah, an orange Capri Sun.
I gotta have a drink.
Yeah, you couldn't beat an orange Capri Sun back in the day. I would probably love to have one today.
I mean, I always wanted that purple drink.
That purple drink.
I want that purple drink.
Oh, man.
Hey, kids, who wants a drink?
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
I want that purple drink.
They got the soda there.
Yeah.
You got the
We got soda, Capri Sun, purple drink.
I may have to go.
What's in it? Purple, water, sugar.
That's all you need to know is purple's in it. I'll probably have to stop by the store on my way home and get some orange Capri Sun. Although I'm sure it's filled with mold.
Why?
There was a thing several years back that they would cut open the Capri Sun pouches, and I think it was algae from where it'd be in the back of hot trucks being shipped. And it's like a fish tank in there, and algae just...
It shouldn't if it's pasteurized or sterilized. It's a sealed
I
environment.
think you may have found out the problem with Capri Sun. It probably wasn't neither of those.
What is it, the 70s? 50s? 60s?
Maybe. Who knows?
like-
We're living in a computer
Oh,
simulation.
crap. We better sterilize this stuff.
We're living in a computer simulation, so it may be the 70s. You know, I was watching a video about that the other day, and someone's like, you can't convince me we're not. It's like, growing up, I was always told my heart's right here. Now it's right here all of a sudden. I don't know. It seems like that's a thing. It has shifted, it seems like.
It has not shifted.
That's what, I mean, you look at medical stuff now, it talks about the heart's more towards the center.
It's always been toward the center.
No, it's always been right there.
Why do you think that big flat bone is right there called the
I don't know
sternum?
why that big flat bone's
It's like
right
a
there.
piece of armor to protect your heart.
Then how come I was always told that the heart's right there?
It was simple.
Hand over your heart. Where do you put your hand over your heart? Yeah, so I'm going to have to start going in the middle now?
Well, I mean, have you seen people put their hands over their heart and they put them down here?
Not one person has ever done that.
They have.
Not one
Look at
person
videos.
in history.
I see people all the time. They're like this. I'm like, do you have indigestion? What do you?
That's what it is.
What are you doing? Like here, it's here.
It's the.
You will see it now that I've told you.
I'm going to be looking for it, but I doubt I've ever seen it. Are you over here now trying to simulate it?
You probably just refuse to see it because you're like, what? Who does that?
Yeah.
I'm serious. It's like here, over their belly. Maybe they're going to give themselves the Heimlich. They're looking for their sternum.
Could it be they're just lazy and don't want to go all the way up to the heart?
No, those would be the people who don't stand up.
And leave their hats on. Oh, he's pulled out the blade. Ooh la la.
I'll tell you what, that is one thing that infuriates me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Not standing for the national anthem.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I would say is like, okay, you've been identified. We're going to send you away.
Yeah.
You obviously don't respect the republic. There's another option.
Whatever's left of it.
Pick your country. Palestine?
Yeah.
On your way.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Ukraine? I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Yeah.
This country's so terrible for you, you can't even stand up to give thanks to the people who died for it?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. We usually don't get political.
You know, we never
I
have.
don't think that's political. I think that's patriotic.
Yeah, that's not political. If you're too stupid not to stand for the national anthem and take your hat off when everybody else in the arena is, I got no use for you. You're stupid.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the whole signaling. Hey, look at me.
I got a signal for you.
Look at me. What?
These bottles. I feel like it's going to collapse on me any time now. And now you're recording it. It'll get electrocuted, and this will be my demise.
Yeah, I don't think the microphone would electrocute you. You're not even touching it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm getting the signal that we're going to wrap it up.
Holy cow! Our battery's running. Did you not charge your battery before we started this?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, you're so enthralled with getting this on video.
Well, I mean, we could unplug the one cable and plug the.
I think we've run our course on injuries.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, this was not a bad first run on camera, but we'll see if that continues.
We'll see how it matches up with our maestro.
Yeah, we have a engineer that's going to be working on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should we go ahead and give him the engineer?
Although I'm a little disappointed in our video because it's not emphasizing my shoe game.
If I have to hear about your dad blame shoe game one more time, don't. It's not on there. Wrong one. There you go. I don't even know what those are called. Caprizis.
Pumas.
Oh, those are Pumas.
Puma.
Lexi Thompson. Puma gal. She's
Really?
Yes, but she announced her retirement yesterday or the day before.
Was she 12?
She seems like it. She was like 16 when she started.
That's crazy.
She's ending it at the end of the season.
I don't even want to hear about it. I've already retired once. I don't want to do it again.
I don't think. Did you retire or did you just? What's happened? That's outstanding.
Yeah. You just couldn't stop.
We just lost visual. That's fantastic. So do we need to sign off?
It's all right. Yeah, I guess we're done for now.
Well, later.
I need to talk to you about